Hi, I'm the Moorlander and this is Moorlander EDC. Today we're talking about an outdoor garment from one of my favourite Polish companies. I have a few favourite Polish companies, but probably one of the ones that I've made the most content on is Helikon-Tex. So we're here today to have a look at the newly released Helikon-Tex Levanter anorak, I guess you call it. It's kind of an anorak. It's an outdoor shirt that's designed for just to keep you out of the rain and to keep you out of the wind. Now, quickly before we start, as I always do, as far as measurements are concerned, I'm 5'10". I have a 46-inch chest. I'm about 15 stone, I'm just a little bit less than 15 stone, 35-inch waist. I went for the European extra large, and it fits as I expect it to do. So what I would say is, if you're wondering about whatever size that you want, and if you check on the website, then I would say if you go by their measurements, then you'll probably find that it will fit you perfectly. I usually go for their extra large, and I got this in extra large, and I feel that it fits me perfectly. Now getting back to that original bit, because I know people often ask about sizes and stuff, which is a strange one but check the website, you should be fine. So Helikon-Tex have a few different garments that are designed to keep either wind, water away from you. I'd say probably the lighter of them, you've got like your Windrunner, or you've got your Tramontane jacket. They do an excellent job of being able to stop the wind from coming at you, and add a, let's say a low level protection from water. If you get anything on you, the water will bead off, but if you're in kind of medium rain, then you will get wet through with those. Then you go to the higher end of those, and then you've got the squall jacket. So the squall jacket is designed to be a hard layer that you can put on, and is your traditional kind of waterproof layer that will keep you dry for as long as you possibly need to be. In between those two, and I mean Helikon-Tex haven't specifically told me this, is kind of what I've worked out, is in between those two, that is where the Levanter fits in. So it's a little bit more lightweight, like you'd get from the Windrunner or the Tramontane, but offers you more water protection, like a full hard layer, like the squall would do. Now, it might not be as much as the squall, which is why it's kind of this middle ground. Now, the material this is made from, it's made from 100% nylon. It's actually got a very fine, which you probably won't see on the camera, but there is a very fine ripstop texture to this, so that hopefully it will protect that material, especially if you're out and you're bushwhacking in the woods like this. On the inside, it also has a PU coating on this as well, which will help again to protect you from the rain. And I'm also happy to say that this also has, I can't find one, that's sod's law. It also has tape seams, so through the front here, through the shoulders, anywhere that there is a seam, it is taped, which is important because with the Tramontane and the Windrunner, they don't have taped seams, which is an area that you can get some water coming through, or it's good to have that. There is a slight rustle to this. But again, what I'd say is it rustles a little bit more than the Tramontane, but it doesn't rustle as much as something like the squall would do, which again, I've given it this middle ground kind of criteria myself, but it makes sense that it fits in the middle there. Now, as far as its waterproof and breathable credentials are concerned, so you have a 10,000mm hydrostatic head as far as the waterproofing is concerned, and then you also have the same 10,000 grams per square meter divided by 24 hours, or however the whole breathability works with this. What I will say is, as you can imagine, as you get with all waterproof things, they talk about breathability and they say, oh, it's an amazingly breathable. You can go out and you won't sweat in this whatsoever. From my experience, you do a little bit. It's exactly the same as you'll get with a lot of kind of PU coated nylon outdoors garments, is that if you go out wearing too much underneath here, you'll get hot and you will sweat. And I always do it. I always end up going out thinking, right, okay, I'll stay cold because I know I'll get warmer, but then I end up putting too much on, go out, and then have to take something off, and then just kind of regulate the heat after that. And you know, it does fine. But if you're doing some real kind of strenuous activity with this, then you just have to be, you know, there's a chance that you're going to sweat, and you know, you just have to manage that. But I wouldn't say it's any more, and I wouldn't say it's any less than other similar outdoors items that I've tested like this. As far as colours are concerned, I think at this moment in time, because this is more of like one of their kind of bushcraft range, the colours are flat colours. I think there's, so this is in the tan, I think there's a black, a grey, a green, I can't think of the other colours, but there's kind of like 4 or 5 flat colours as you'd expect from their outdoor bushcraft range. Now, as far as the garment is concerned, it is an over the head, so it's not a full zip. Now I'll take this off purposely because the best thing about these is that these are the type of things that you have in the bottom of your bag, hoping that you'll never need to use them, because they're just there for when you just need something to take the wind off you, and it's there for something to, you know, protect yourself from the rain should you need it. So it does fold up, and I've done a terrible job of trying to fold that up, but it does do a good job of folding down reasonably compact, so that when you put this into the bottom of your bag, or even if you've just got a small kind of day bag, maybe you've just got something around your waist, so that you're just out for the day, doing a small walk, then yeah, you're good. Now, so actually getting into, oh, my hood on the inside's gone all weird. Getting into the actual thing. So starting at the top with the hood. Nice large hood, and I do mean large hood. I have a massive head, and it's good that I can fit my whole head and everything in here. There is some adjustment here on the back, but I think that's it. I'm trying to remember, I think that is it. No, there's no adjustment on the front, it's just that bit at the back. It does have a little bit of an extended brim here on the front, so if you want to pull that down, use the Velcro underneath so you can get that a little bit closer to your face. Pull on this a little bit more at the back and it'll keep it there. Once it's on, now admittedly underneath here I've got a beanie on and I randomly pulled my other hood up. It does an okay job of tracking your head as your head moves around, but I mean, as far as hoods go, it does a good job. I don't think it would be large enough that if you needed to put a helmet underneath here that you could do, but again, I don't think it's really designed to be that kind of technical thing that you pull on whilst you're belaying somebody. It's just out, the rain's caught me, you put this on, and you know, it does exactly what it needs to do. So hood, as far as hood's concerned, it's okay hood. Now this is a quarter zip, so I can zip this up. As far as my chin is concerned, comes all the way up, keeps my facial pubes out of the way, closes in reasonably nice and close to the neck, so it stops any wind and water from coming in. It's not too tight as well, so I've got a 17.5-inch neck and there's still plenty of room. I don't feel like it's claustrophobic like you can do with some jackets, and you just feel like you're being strangled by them. So there's still plenty of room in here, and if I wanted to, I can get my beard in and I can just be completely out of the weather. The zip itself is a YKK zip, and you have a small toggle on here, and as I mentioned, it is a quarter zip, but it does come down. It's probably more. I know you consider it a quarter zip. Maybe it's a little bit more than a quarter zip. Maybe it's a half zip, because it comes well down past my sternum, almost to where my floating ribs are. So it does open a little bit more. What I will say is, because you've got this. You've got this Velcro on, so when you take it off, and again, it's just an observation, but when you take it off, the Velcro closes back again, so when you pull it back on again, you feel like you've not unzipped it. Well, you have unzipped it, because you unzipped it, but they close back up again, so as you pull it on, you hear the Velcro open. Again, it's just a small observation. Now after that, fairly kind of standard traditional anorak as far as the arms are concerned. There's no bicep pockets on here, but again, I don't feel it needs bicep pockets. The cuffs are elasticated cuffs. I haven't had the need to wear gloves with these yet, but I have a 7.5 inch wrist, and just kind of there holding that, I can get 2 fingers in there with no issues. That's what she said. So there's still room, so if I did need to wear some gloves underneath here, then it's fine. But of course this is the extra large, so if you're after a medium, then they won't be as baggy as these, because it'll kind of scale to you, obviously. But yeah, so just kind of a very simple elasticated cuff on there. As far as pockets on the front here, now the one thing that I thought there would be on here, because when you look at it on the website, it does look like there is one, but there is a seam here, and I assumed that they would be a down, like a joey pocket that you can get in from the top, but there isn't. So with this, you just have, so there are, I'd already opened the zips. You have 2 storm flaps in front of the zips to stop any kind of wind from getting in here, mainly because the zips themselves are just regular YKK RC zips. They're not AquaGuard zips, but because you have these large storm flaps over there, you don't need to worry about kind of the wind from getting into there. And then when you have this, you have a pass-through pocket. It is reasonably big. The top of the pocket is here where the seam is, and then the bottom of the pocket there is another seam, so it doesn't go all the way down to the hem, but there is a seam maybe 15 centimeters from the bottom. You can fit your gloves in here, you can fit your hat in here, no issues whatsoever. You could probably also fit a map into here as well if you're out, and I know you need a map for wherever it is or whatever it is that you're doing. There aren't any lashing points. There is a lashing point. I thought there was. I don't know why I said that. There is a lashing point here as well. So if it is that you're out and about and maybe you're doing some orienteering where you've got a compass with you, or you've got a tool that you're regularly using or need to kind of keep taking in and out of your pocket, there is a lashing point. But yes, it's on the one side. I think that's what foxed me while I thought there wasn't one. It is just on this left hand side. There isn't another one here on the right hand side. But there's also a lip here at the bottom as well, so you don't need to concern yourselves with anything falling out. The lip is a good kind of 6-7 centimeters, so again, yeah, don't have to worry about anything falling out of there. The zips are reasonably easy to pull up, but what I will say is, which it's pros and cons, they're a bit tough to get up, mainly because you've got to get your hand in past this, past the kind of the storm flap on the front, which in the grand scheme of things, I'd rather kind of struggle to get them up a little bit towards the top, because these storm flaps are stopping wind from getting and rain from getting in there anyway, so I certainly don't mind about that. And then that's it as far as pockets are concerned. The back on here, it's a fairly plain standard kind of back. You get down to the waist. Now this again, so this is another thing that I'd made an assumption before this arrived. I assumed that there would be some sort of bungee or toggle or something on here, so you could just kind of tighten this in a little bit, but there isn't. Again, not that it's a good or a bad thing, I just assumed that it would be there. So instead, it's just a fairly, I don't know what you call it, would you call it a relaxed hem? I don't know what you'd call it. let's call it, I tell you what, let's call it a relaxed hem. So it has a relaxed hem. It just does what it wants to do. You don't have to struggle to get your hands into your pockets because it just lifts up. But then on the flip side, if the wind does blow, and I've been out again watching my daughter play football on a Saturday afternoon, I have been out and found that the wind has blown up it a little bit, but in the grand scheme of things, I wasn't too cold because I'd got some good layers on underneath anyway. But yeah, it just kind of sits there. Now for me, it does go down past the old family giggle stick and laughing cherries, and then here at the back, it does go down past my bum. So when you are out, if you're concerned about water kind of running off you and then into your pockets or getting kind of dust and debris down the back when you're bending over, because it's longer, it does a better job to stop things from getting into there. And then there you go. That's it. So this is the Helikon-Tex Levanter. I think as far as that middle ground is concerned, it makes sense that they did this. It was a surprise to me that this came out, but when you think that they've got those, you got the Windrunner, you've got the Tramontane, but then it's if that was a spectrum, they would be on the far left, and then you jump to the other end, the extreme of that spectrum, where you've got the super waterproof that you've got from the Squall. It really did make sense that they kind of added this in the middle. I think is just something that you can throw into a pack so that you're out, you're doing some walking, and then the rain arrives, or you're out and you're doing some walking, and rather than even putting it in your pack, you've just got it on because you need something to protect yourself from the wind. Now, one of the things I haven't mentioned is as far as insulation on this, there's no insulation, there's no sort of extra additional thermal properties that this gives to you, other than the fact that this keeps the wind off you, and that makes a big difference, mainly because of that wind chill factor. So having this on, again, if you're going to be doing some kind of strenuous exercise while you're doing this, then just make sure that your insulation layer underneath here is just maybe a step down from where it needs to be. It's not going to make you hotter, but because it keeps the wind off you, by proxy, your body will get hotter because there's less wind around. So again, it's just something to manage if you're out and about. But I mean, if you've worn these style jackets in the past, then you kind of know what the gig is anyway with these sort of things. So yeah, so there you go. This is the Helikon-Tex Levanter Jacket. I think it's a jacket. I can't remember what they called it. Did they call it the jacket or shirt? Anyway, whatever they called it. Yeah, it was a bit of a surprise for me. I wasn't expecting this to come out, and so yeah. So I picked this up myself. I bought this with my own Moorlandese quids. Of course, I'll leave some links below if you did want to pick up one of these from Helikon-Tex. I'll leave their website as well so that you can see more from this. I'll leave some of my social media links as well, so if you want to see more from me here on Moorlander EDC or my sister channel, Moorlander Tactical, then you'll have those. And whether you're watching this on YouTube or Rumble, as always, stay safe, stay Moorlander, and stay EDC. Jacket from Helikon-Tex, which, as many of you know, Levanter is Spanish for small hippopotamus, which is strange that they would call it that, but the Polish, they can name whatever they want. Makes sense. And this is the Levanter jacket. Now, as many of you know, Levanter is Portuguese for small car, which again is kind of strange that they would name this, but I guess there must have been some reason behind today to look at the Helikon-Tex Levanter, which, as many of the multilingual of you will know, is French for sister-in-law's arm. I don't know why they would name it that, but they did. But you know, that's fine. It was recently released from Helikon-Tex. Now, as many of you know, the multilingual ones that we have in this community, Levanter is Mexican for bus fare for one. But it is what it is. Levanter jacket, which is named after a small Brazilian town where the locals wear their hats upside down. Which again is a strange one, but it's fine, you know. Brazilians do as Brazilians do. I will never judge.